tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the pen tool to draw an equilateral triangle that we can then trace round as a sprite to make an accurate sprite, so you can code your own tukutuku panel coding pattern. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to delete our sprite scratch here, and I'm going to create a new let's go back. I'm going to create a blank one. So I'm just going to create a new blank one. There we go. There's my blank one, and I'm going to come to code, and what I'm going to do is going to come down to here, and I'm going to click on the pen block, and what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly make a block of code. When the green flag is clicked, we want to make sure that the the pen is down, and we want to set the pen color to, well, black will be fine, and we're going to set the pen size, not change, but set the pen size to 5, probably be fine. And then we want to come on here, we want to repeat 3 times for each of the triangles. So let's go each side, let's go repeat 3. And we want to move, we need to make our triangle a fairly decent size. Let's make it 20, I think, to start with. 20, and then we want to turn 120 degrees. Right, so let's make our triangle. There it is. It's a bit small. So let's change that. So let's just make an erase option here. So come back to here, whoops, events. We want to, when the space bar is pressed, we want to erase all. So let's erase all. Good. Right, so let's change this. Let's change this to 50 steps. And I probably think I want to make that a bit thinner. So let's make that 3. Let's have a look. That's better. I think that's probably better for us. So I can now move this around. So now we've done this, we can use this shape here to draw our own sprite. So let's use this sprite, empty sprite block here. To click on here, click on costume. And what we want to do is to create a empty triangle. Let's make with an outline of 4, that's fine. We can change all of this in a minute. We're going to use the triangle to help us draw the shapes. So let's draw a square. And can you see my square is now over my triangle here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my triangle to trace over the step. And I'm going to squeeze the triangle, the square in a little bit, keep coming in. Just keep coming in like this. A bit more. Too much. Better. Right, so now I've done that. There's my shape. Now I'm going to click on the change icon here. So click on my shape. I'm going to delete one of these. So I use the change shape icon, reshape icon here. Choose one of the top corners and delete it. I've now made a triangle. Now I can use this to guesstimate. Ooh, it's pretty close. The more time you spend doing this, the better. There we go. I think that's fine. So I'm going to be done now. So now I've got a sprite triangle. Let me fill it with colour. So let's just fill it so we can see it. I'll fill it with red. There we go. There's my triangle, my sprite. I can now move this around, and I can come back to my code, and I'm going to spacebar, delete this, and now I can get rid of all of this, and I've now created a nice equilateral triangle that I can now duplicate. And I can change this to a different color. So let's come to costumes. Let's say I wanted to make the inside of this one black. So select it, make it black. Done. And so now I've got 2 triangles that I can start to code And so I could move this a number of places and stamp and clone it. I can rotate this one, and now I can start to use my sprites to help draw a pattern and make my own tukutuku pattern with my two red and black sprites. I'm going to show you now how we can use the fact that we've made a red and a black triangle to turn them into a pattern, because we've got these sprites now that we can move around. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to click on the red icon first. We're going to make a little pattern with this one first. You'll notice that I've flipped this triangle through 180 degrees, and we can do that in our costumes here. I've flipped mine over here. Let's flip it back so you can see what I'm doing. So I put mine back to 90 like this. But I'm going to show you how to do it inside the sprite. So just click on here, and we can click on select, and we can just rotate it. So flip vertical, and it's flipped it upside down for me. Okay, so I just clicked on flip vertical, flipped it upside down, and it's made the triangle upside down for me. So that's done. What we're going to do, come back to here now, and we're going to make a pattern, a repeating pattern, so we can start building a red black triangle. So let's just look at this red one first. So come back to here. What we're going to do, we need to make sure we want it to start in a particular position. Let's just say we wanted to start our pattern in the middle of the screen here, right with the triangle on the edge like this. So click there. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we've got the position we want it to be. We want it to go to that position every time. So I'm going to click on Control, Event, sorry. When the green flag is clicked, I want it to go to that position. So click on Motion. Over here in the panel it says X is minus 213, Y is 28. And if you click on here it says Go To. That's the exact position. Now, we now need to make a copy of this. We need to do this repeat as a repeat function. So let's just do this repeat. Let's make this repeat 5. And we want it to repeat 5. We want it to make a clone of myself. So come down here, create a clone of myself, and we want to change, come down to here, change X. Now I made my the base of my square when I first made it, so that's now the base of my triangle. I made it 50 pixels. So we're going to change X by 50. And what I'm hoping to see happen is that this red triangle will repeat 5 times in a straight line. Let's click on play here. There we go. So I've now created a clone. Now it didn't quite work the way I want to do, because I've got a gap missing here. So that's probably meant to be the other way round. So let's just swap those round. Let's get back that clear function. So let's click back on events. When the key is pressed, let's click on the delete clone, delete this clone, so space key, bang. So I'm going to now, I've switched those around, let's click on the green flag. That's better. So it matters which way round this is. So now I've created this repeat function here. So now let's do the same thing but with the black key. So what I can do is I can just drag this code that I know works across into here. I know this code works, I drag that into here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully position the black triangle in between those two red triangles like that. And this is where the accuracy of making your triangles is important. So there we go, that's where I want my black triangle to start. Let's just move these around. And we know that that black triangle is in fact at minus 188 and 30. So come back to motion, get rid of this one. As long as that says minus 188 and 30, let's click on this. Let's click on the space bar to delete all of that. Doesn't matter where these triangles end up. Let's click on the go function. And now I've created a repeating pattern. So once we've got that happening, we can now do some other magic. Let's have a look at this. So let's have a look at this. Let's duplicate this, and let's duplicate this. So this time round I want the black to start here, and I want the red 2 one to start here. So let's just make sure we go into the red one and make note it's minus 187 minus 18. So make sure we're on the red one. Minus 187, 18. Put this into here like that. Let's go on the black one. Make sure it's minus 213. It's click on this. If you're not sure which one you're working on, click on it. You can see how it goes blue. Drag this apart. Click that into there, and that's the one we want. So let's click on the space bar to clear our clones. They're going to be all over the place. We don't worry about it. Click on the green flag, and now we've got a repeating pattern. So let's see if you can create a repeating pattern to make your own tukutuku panel and by coding. Good luck.